Yeah, it's your boy, Free Pizza. We back at it again, episode 15, and what an exciting episode I have for you guys. This isn't gonna be so funny because this is like a message, and if you guys didn't know by now, look at all the baby stuff I have around me. I've been preparing because I'm having a baby. Yeah, that's right. Justin's having a baby. I've had some of my greatest relatives and best friends help me get everything together. And I had some that didn't. They procrastinate way too much. I don't know whose fault that is. Is it my fault for even having them as my friend, or is it that's just they have to wait to see the baby, then they do something. There's different archetypes here in this earth. But this episode's gonna be a little different. I don't even know where to start, but I'm here in the baby area. I actually conjured this. Like, I dreamt of this. I had daydreams of doing this. Before I even bought all this stuff, I was like, yo, I really need to, get everything together and then, film it. Like, why wouldn't I film this beautiful moment? And, they're right, man. Why wouldn't I do this? Here's an unborn moment of yourself. One day you're going to watch this video and be like, this is my dad too. You're going to watch this video. You probably won't understand it the first time you watch it. The older you get in life, you will hear these messages. And this is the greatest part about living in this point in time, is the technological feats that we've progressed. I've progressed. I did this for you. Matter of fact, I invented everything. What a loser. Okay, I didn't invent much. But definitely your mommy, Jennifer. Shout out to Jennifer, by the way. She's been the best support for this. Her attitude, she's so stoic, and I know women aren't supposed to be stoic, but man, she is so incredible of a woman to stick by me. Like, she sees something in me, and I see a lot in her as well. It's I'll never leave my girlfriend, and I want to marry her after the baby's born. I know it's a little taboo, or maybe it's not taboo, but I definitely want to have the ceremony with me and Jennifer coming together with our friends to see that we're gonna be one forever. I really do appreciate you guys following this channel, gang banging that subscribe button. But low key, you need to start following JV, Free Pizza. You need to start following Free Pizza. Tell your friends. Like it's free to do, guys. I'm not telling you to subscribe and send me $5. Just subscribe to the fucking channel. Stop being a bitch. If you don't subscribe to what you like and what you care about, then it goes away. Okay? It's very hard to make this very organic channel, which I've been doing, by fucking basically begging people. And I hate to say that. Like most of the time, I'm like, hey, you like my jokes and shit? Subscribe to my channel. And they kind of they start looking at my shoes. Like they're uninterested. What do you mean? I thought you said you liked me. It's like a lot of the time you have to have clout in order for people to even respect you. If I'm like, hey, I'm up and coming, and and then the moment you say up and coming, it's like, that's not what I was looking for. I wanted somebody that was already, had status. Oh, look, by the way, this is brought to you by, I got a 211 in progress, guys. 211 in progress. I hope this video's not switched around. I hate when, I think it is. Fuck this shit, man. I gotta get a better phone for this shit. But it doesn't even fucking matter. Let's get back to the subject at hand. First off, your daddy is from the smallest state in the United States. And I'm going to give anybody who's listening right now, I'm going to give you 5 seconds to come up with, what's the smallest state? Oh yeah. Oh. You better had said Rhode Island. And our only identity is Family Guy. You know, there was a survey, and I don't know how they made the survey, but they I guess went around to a bunch of cities, and they found out that the most immature adults are from my hometown. Isn't that crazy? It's like we're forever just joking around. We have the most dry humor. If you was to chill around with my eldest relatives, which is Uncle Gene and Auntie Marie, all they do is joke with each other all day. They have the driest humor. It's like, Marie! It's like, what? You're gonna kill me! Like, you know, it's just like, it's like a joke that's not funny, but it's cute that they're like, you know, coming up with the shit. And then the next moment, they're just sitting next to each other, happy as hell. Next moment that you see them, they're happy as a motherfucker. Literally. And by the way, I wanted to do another shout out too to, like, you know, all the women that I was with before I had this baby. You guys prepared me for this, and you guys also seen something in me too, just like how Jennifer does now. But for some reason, I didn't like you like that, and I apologize. But Jennifer, on the other hand, like, you know, and I hope you found your love, man. I really hope you guys found, like, who you were looking for. And there's no hard feelings at all. I literally consider, I think I've only had like three girlfriends, honestly, my whole life. Like, yeah, something like that, whatever. And maybe some other girls I might have said you were my girlfriend, but you weren't my girlfriend. I've had probably 3 real girlfriends, you know, living with me, going out on dates, dealing with my bullshit. And I just want to say, you know, shout out to y'all, and I hope you support me in my next chapter in my life. I hope you don't, you know, pray for my downfall. I hope you pray that this baby, because it is me, if you loved me, then you'll love this baby. I hope you guys are doing good, and you're safe, and you're healthy, and you found, like, somebody that loved you. Because you damn sure know it wasn't me, and I feel bad to even say that. Because a lot of you were, like, super awesome, but I'm not here to talk about you guys. Now, my future kid, just know that this earth here is not made for people that think just because you exist, somebody's gonna save you. Think of the most successful, predatory people that you try to let in. What ends up happening is that they already made their click, and they're only here to use you as their prey. So you need to watch out for that. I think the younger the better. You need to, I know it's not fun to read, it's not fun to learn, but at the end of the day, when you learn it and you absorb it and it's there, that you can always regurgitate it at a moment's time, that is a very powerful tool. You will impress people. My dad, Mitchell Miranda, I wish he was here. He's a missing person. One thing he instilled in me was every day, 7:30, I'd come home, Alex Trebek, Jeopardy. He would watch it. He would get, like, I'm not gonna lie to you, from 1 to 100, he'd get 45% of the answers correct, right then and there, and maybe the last 10 he would stutter a little bit, or almost be like a halfway answer or whatnot. And I thought that was so cool, man. I thought my dad was so smart. Um, I think he's second generation Cuban. So I don't actually first generation. So it'd be like both of his parents were Cuban, and he was actually born in Rochester, New York, and then he moved to Hialeah by the time he was like 12 or something. And with both of his parents, and then I think they shortly after that they divorced or whatever. I don't know if you know this. I actually come from royalty. My dad, his mom, back in Cuba, I think my grandmother's grandfather started Bacardi in Cuba. Shortly after this, Cuba became communist, and they moved it to Puerto Rico. I mean, that's the story my dad told me. I don't know how much validity there is in it, but why would he lie? My mom, she came. Her dad was a World War II veteran. That he worked on the naval ships, but he worked on planes. Not only that, I guess a motor blew up or some shit, so he had like a steel plate in his head, almost like my real dad. Wow, I never thought of that. And he was also a horse trainer. This is what they're telling me. I don't know if this is true, but this is what I'm telling you. This is what you're gonna tell your kids. And he was a horse trainer. And my Uncle Eddie, by the way, my Uncle Eddie bought you this carriage, by the way. He was a horse trainer as well. I used to see many pictures of, say, my mom in the background with my Uncle Eddie in the background, and then my grandfather, not my grandfather actually, yeah, my grandfather. He would be next to the horse. He was a horse trainer, not the jockey. We're not that little. And he'd be holding the side of the horse and take a picture, and then my mom would be there with Uncle Eddie. Later on, Uncle Eddie learned the arts of horse training, and supposedly when I was living with Uncle Eddie for a couple of years, back when I was like my adolescent years, like my early adolescent years, he would say, "Oh man, we had a whistle. I don't know how they do it, and we can make the horses like pee on cue." And I was like, "Wow, that's very impressive." Like. And that stuck with me to this day. My grandfather and my grandmother. Remember, they're like super boomers. They were there. They were like super alive during like the moon landing, which I think is fake. They both died. My grandmother died of leukemia, I think. It was like a bone marrow deficiency. I think it was bone cancer, if you want to get technical. I think it was leukemia, basically. And at that time in history, there wasn't a lot of medicine in order to heal her. My grandfather on my mom's side, I'm not even too sure how he passed away, but I know he had a metal plate in his head. It was probably just his time, whatever. God rest their souls. I seen one picture of my grandfather. I know what my grandma looks like, but I never met her. I did meet, so if that was my grandparents, I met my great grandmother. I don't know her name. I feel bad not knowing her name, but I would go to the hospital. By the time I was aware and I had a consciousness, she already had terrible, like Parkinson's disease or Alzheimer's or something. So she was like, she was very like. Maybe I shouldn't talk about that. It was horrible though. You just go to the hospital and she'd just be like, she had like she wasn't there. Like it was like almost like her soul was gone. I'm not gonna lie. I've been to maybe 2 funerals my whole life. No, 3 funerals. But that funeral for my great grandmother, they went all out. They went all out for her. We did the whole thing where we lined up in a whole row of cars and we drove around a bunch of places, and then eventually we ended up at the cemetery. And my Uncle Gene, God rest him, yo, I love Uncle Gene. He's still alive today. He doesn't live that far from me right now. I hope, and this is a message to my unborn kid, and I hope you meet him. I hope you can remember him for the rest of your life, because it's one thing to meet something and then never remember it. That's sad. That's sad, man. But yeah, we had a beautiful funeral in Rhode Island. It was a very sad part in my life. Whatever. Let's get off that. Back to my dad. So my dad, Cuban, awesome as fuck. But mom would, nah, I don't think I'll say that. My dad, I miss my dad every day. He's fucking awesome as hell. He taught me to want to be witty, want to be smart. Stop being a pussy and stop thinking like being cool is to be ignorant. There's nothing cool about not knowing shit. You know, it's crazy, man. You're gonna meet a good-looking bitch one day, you're gonna ask her to name 3 countries, and she can't even fucking do it. Don't fucking be like these dumb hoes. Don't be like these bitches. The only bitches that stupid to me is my mom and my girlfriend. All these other dumb bitches, man, they're fucking stupid, man. I would even argue that mommy and grandma are stupid too, but I love them so much. You know, they got the pass. They got the fucking pass and shit. I'm not a bad person. I've never. Oh, by the way, I think the reason I'm not a bad person is because I've had a great outlook on religion. Since a little kid, I was raised Catholic. I would constantly go to Saturday school. Like, Saturday, so Friday, go to school. Saturday, you go to church, but not to the church. You go to like a school next to the church. It's called Sunday school. No, I'm sorry, Sunday school. It's called Saturday school. So while all the best cartoons were playing on Saturday, you had to miss them and learn the history of the Bible. That's probably why I'm so like witty when it comes to the Bible. Like, I'm not gonna say I know like verses and shit, but definitely know almost the whole story. I'm sure there's some that I can catch up on. Don't get me wrong. So I'll go to Saturday school, raised Catholic, did my first communion. I did the other one where now I can get married or some shit in the church, some shit. I did all that. I don't know, I think I'm rambling. Is that okay? So that's something later on in life. So alright, when I was an infant, I'm sorry to tell you, but Grandma, she went to prison. Grandma went to prison, and her and my dad and my mom weren't together. So when she went to prison, I went to Uncle Eddie's house. Uncle Eddie, thank you for taking care of me when I was a little kid. Imagine how much balls he had to take, right? To be like 30-year-old man, and just taking an infant that's not even his, which is his sister's. I think his name's Edward. So at least I was like, my name's Justin Edward Vashey. His name was Edward Vashey. So it's like a very beautiful, like I would take care of me. Yeah, sure. You're like basically my name. Basically have my name. And shout out to Uncle Eddie for taking care of me till I was about 6 or 7, where he lost custody of me. Here's a good story. So Uncle Eddie comes home one day, and I think he was trying to keep me. I think he like kind of knew about my mom. He was like, "Listen, you're gonna stay here. Fuck that. I love you." He said, "You know what? I can help me." I was like, "Yeah," because I thought he was my dad. I used to call him Dad. Yes, Dad. He gives me a piece of paper. Goes, draw a picture of me and the family. I think he just had a daughter at the time, right? So I thought that was. I used to always think of my life like The Simpsons. So I used to think I was Bart, and this was Lisa, my little sister, and I used to call his wife at the time, Cheryl Hovey. Cheryl Hovey, by the way. Shout outs to Cheryl Hovey. And fucking funny as hell. I take a picture, and I was like a good little artist then. I was an artist, and I fucking did something crazy. I did like a tree house. I was like telling in the story of the picture, it was like Uncle Eddie built the tree house, and we're all there looking at the tree house, standing next to each other, and I put nipples on everyone. I remember I'm a little kid, I didn't know nipples was like a big deal. So I guess he like turned in the paper that I wrote, and they gave custody back to my mom, and my uncle was under suspicion. It was all because I put nipples on everyone. Imagine, put nipples on Eddie, put nipples on Cheryl, I put nipples on my little sister. Like, what the fuck is that? But they were like, why does everybody have nipples? Like, like, it's a little weird. Next thing you know, I'm like 7 years old, and they're packing my stuff. And I'm like, Mom, Dad? Remember, I'm calling Cheryl Mom, and I'm calling Eddie Dad. That was my uncle, and that was really my auntie, due to blood because of Amanda. That was my real cousin. And they just like shrugged their shoulders, like there was nothing they could do. It was up to the courts. And they packed my stuff up, and they put it in the car. And here I am moving to North Providence. My mom was the hottest lady ever, dude. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. When they say, oh, everybody thinks their mom was hot. No, man. My mom was the hottest fucking mom in the world. She had to look like a skinny Rachel Ray, or maybe... Damn, man, is there another equivalent to my mom? Rachel Ray is a really good equivalent. Like a skinny Rachel Ray, not the fat one, the one that makes cat food and shit. I'm talking about the fucking, like, the skinny one. Who's another person looking at my mom? Whatever. Let's get back to the story. Next thing I just pull up, and here I am with this lady that I remember going to visit her in prison. Oh yeah, by the way, I used to go visit this lady in prison. I used to go to the Rhode Island prison, and I think the whole time she was saying, like, I'm your mom, but I didn't really understand it. Oh shit, shot her. And I really didn't understand it like completely, whatever. Because here I am like going to prison, and I used to say the funniest things, like as a little kid. I think they were like watching me, right? There's like surveillance cameras and shit, and I was just like, hey, we're gonna break out of here. I used to like this lady a lot. She was super cool. My mom tries, and she's not like fucking like all fucked up on shit. She is the most enjoyable person to be around, 1,000%. There's no one better to be around than my mom when she's not being belligerent. So here I am, parked out of this really hot lady's house. Like, she's taking all my stuff in, explaining that she's actually my mom, but it didn't hit me till that day. And I was like, well, that's my mom. Honestly, I think out of everything in my life that was dramatizing, that had to be the most dramatizing thing ever. They should have been more transparent in telling me, like, everything. They weren't, though. It must be very hard to look a 6 or 7 year old in the eye and be like, hey, she's about to change. Love my mom. She's still around. I don't want to say anything negative about my mom, because it's my mom. How did I get to Miami? Let's go to that. Alright, so let's talk about how I ended up in Miami. So, one time, my mom she was getting ready for school. She was already started cleaning at like 4 in the morning, so by 6 o'clock the whole house was clean. And I'm getting ready for school. I get ready for school. My mom gives me a little breakfast. My mom's up, by the way. She's like, shh, right? And there's a knock on the door. This is how I moved to Miami, by the way. There's a knock on the door. Me, being stupid, being a little kid, I think I was like 13 at the time. I think I was a little younger, actually. I was like 12. I open the door without even saying hello or who is it. It's 2 police officers. They automatically look behind me and like, you, Rhonda, stay right there. They arrest her, right? I'm looking like this. And I get my book bag and I just go to school. I come home that day. And my mom, she's there. No, what the fuck I just said? I came home that day. She's not there, actually. Nowhere there. My neighbors on the 3rd floor. I was living on the 1st. They lived on the 3rd. The guy used to sell crack and shit. That guy was super cool, by the way. His name was, I'm calling him T. And he had a white girlfriend, Italian, cool as fuck. She fucked me because I'm Italian. I kind of had a crush on her too, but whatever. But I was way younger, whatever. What do you mean crush? Like, yeah, I used to think she was pretty. I was like, yo, she's cool as fuck. She likes black dudes, you know. Long story short, like, yo, your mom got arrested. My mom calls me that day, collect or something. She's like, I ain't getting out for like 4 or 5 months. I'm like, all right. So I just kind of hang up the phone. I'm in the house. Now think about it. It's a 3-bedroom house. I'm there by myself. I got a 3-bedroom house by myself. I gotta worry about the next 4 or 5 months, like, by myself. So I just used to go all the way upstairs to the 3rd floor with the Terry and his wife were at. Fuck, I didn't even say his name. Whatever, Terry, fuck it. Nobody even knows who it is. His name was Terry. Terry, living on the 3rd floor, cool as fuck. He used to take me on rides to go sell crack and shit. And he used to have a cousin named Joey and shit. Joey was cool as fuck. Joey used to be like drinking OE. He used to like OE, dry gin. And he used to be like, my best job I ever had was working at Burger King. I was the manager at Burger King. He said, I'm like, damn, Joey, that's cool as hell. One time, before my mom got arrested, I used to want to get Joey to hook up with my mom and like, that could be my dad. Because my dad was in Miami, by the way. I didn't meet my dad yet. And you know what he said one day? He said, I would get with your mom, but I'd have to hit her. And I don't want to hit her because I love you guys. I respected that comment. That was funny as fuck. He's a black guy. He's like, listen, I don't want to get with her. You know why I don't want to get with her? I was like, why? Said, I'm going to have to hit her ass. I was like, damn. That's fucking great. So, my mom went to jail. Random guys would come over to the house and just buy me groceries. She was by the way, my mom was the hottest girl ever, dude. Fuck. What the fuck did happen? Oh my god, I'm just watching a little song. Oh my god, no. My girl was the my mom was the hottest lady in Rhode Island, 1000%. She was a stripper. She was like really hot. She can make moves, you know? I'm sure if there was OnlyFans then, she would have did that instead. But the internet was nothing like it was today. Like, there was no, like, hopping on the computer at that time in life. Like, oh, no. At that time, yeah. At that time, yeah. But, like, when I was 7 and shit, it was a little different. It was, like, everything, it was like the black and green screen, and it was weirder. And then it got exponentially better every year. When Windows would update, it was just better, and then Apple came around, just shit on everyone. But so I did I did this really crazy shit where I would just kind of chill with Terry all day. He'd give me weed. He would just tell me like hold it down. I would actually open the door from the bottom so he can go upstairs. And one day my mom gets out. She gets out. She tells me we need to leave. We need to leave Rhode Island. This is not for us anymore. I agree. I'm like, yo, this shit is kind of getting crazy. She said, let's go see your dad. And I was like smiling. I used to get like little letters from my dad all the time. Like, hey, I'm your dad. He sent me a little check for like $30 and shit. And even had grandma, she would send me like sweaters and stuff. Shout out to grandma and my dad. Long story short, Mama gets out. She's like, all right, we out of here. I can't be here no more. She was like, she really was sick of smoking that dope and shit. She didn't want to smoke dope no more. Next thing you know, like, she disappeared for like 2 days, and she came back. Cause I was like, oh, she back to the same shit. Next thing you know, she pulled up with a minivan, started throwing all the shit in the back of the minivan. All the shit in the back. I'm like, what the fuck, Mom? She's like, don't worry, I'm coming back for you in like a week. I'm like, okay. So she left. I'm like, she called me from Miami. I'm in Miami. I thought that was so cool. Imagine you're from Rhode Island, and like 6 or 7 months of the year, it's cold as fuck. Remember, in Rhode Island, is like a sub-Arctic climate. My mom's living in a subtropical climate. I'm like, what the fuck is that like, Mom? It never snows. She's like, it doesn't snow here. When I left, it was snowing. Alright, I don't want to go too far in the story yet. Next thing you know, my mom sends me a Greyhound ticket or something. Terry and his wife bring me to the Greyhound station. I'll never forget this, guys. Terry and his wife, in those months that I was waiting for Mom to get out, really grew an impression on me. Like, they were the best people ever, man. Like, I wanted to be so black, and I wanted to be, I don't know, those people are so cool, man. Like, black people are so cool, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. He gave me the best hug ever. Before I left, he taught me how to box. He taught me how to sell drugs. He taught me a bunch of shit. Guy was super humble, man. Guy was super fucking humble, and I miss him to this day. Next thing you know, get the Greyhound numbers, like to get the ticket. I didn't have ID. All you have to do is give them a little code. When I get to the Greyhound station, I pulled up to Providence, Rhode Island, downtown to the Greyhound station. Pulled up. They made me sandwiches. They didn't put mayo. They put mustard because it could last longer on the bus because they didn't want me to get sick. Putting me down to all this information, all this shit. And next thing you know, I'm on my way to Miami. Which I would stay here to this day to have it. To this day, to where I'm having you. My mom, shortly after that. So I pulled up. It was weird, though, because I expected Miami to be like a metropolis, like New York. And it was nothing like that. Like, you pull up and you're like, what the fuck was, like, so country then, man? It wasn't like how it is now. This had to be early 2002. It was a year after 9/11. And, this is how my dad got cuffed me. Let me just tell you this story. So, my mom, for a whole year, wasn't smoking dope. I met my dad and everything. Everything was good, but I stayed living with my mom. I want to stay with my mom, no matter what. And then my mom, like, got in contact with her ex, nigga, from Rhode Island. His name was Kevin McCarthy. Really cool guy. And he was living now, and I think he moved down here just for my mom because of how hot she is. And next thing you know, I'm living now in Melbourne, Florida. So at first I came to Miami, met my dad, all that shit, had a good time here. Oh, I fucked up the whole story. Hold on, let me tell you what happened. So, long story short, I meet up with my mom. My mom's stripping at this place called Doll House in Sunny House. It's the only strip club too that way. If you're under 21, you can go inside, but you have to wear a shirt that says, "I am under 21 and I'm here at the Doll." Some dumb shit like that. I have another story about that shirt. I'll tell it later on. And my mom, she's working there for like, I don't know, a couple weeks, whatever. Actually, more than that maybe. And then one day she gets like, I'm at the house and the cops fucking knock on the door. It's always the fucking police, man. Separate my mom, man. They arrest her for credit card theft or some shit. She gets up the next fucking day. But that day that they knocked on the door, they put me in fucking foster care. That was insane. Why did they do that? I was like already fucking like 16 or 15 years old. I could have fucking lived by my damn self. And they put me in fucking foster home. Next thing you know, I'm in fucking Homestead with a bunch of black guys. Maybe one Chico. And, oh, by the way, the one Chico that I know, I still know today. He lives in Little Havana. He's a fat fucking guy that I know. He's super cool. And I'm living in, and it was called Miami Rivers of Life. And next thing you know, the day I had to go to court, I'll never forget it. I was acting really ghetto. I was getting like haircuts with like eyebrow slashes and shit like that. And the lady, instead of taking me to court, she had to get her nails done, and we just kind of procrastinated until the court day was done. So when I got home, they were just, hey man, we're just gonna come get. I called them on the phone, like, we're just gonna come get you. So, all right. Some kid gave me his book bag. I threw all my shit in there that was at the group home. I jumped off the window and I ran away. I ran away. That was actually the second time I ran away. But I'm not going to talk about the first time right now because I'm already too far along in the story. Whatever. And I ran away. And I had Uncle Gene, Auntie Marie, my mom, and Kevin McCarthy waiting for me down the fucking street. And I jumped in the car and we were out, nigga. We were out, bro. Let me get another beer, bro. Let me tell you what happened. Oh yeah, I'm back, guys. I'm back, bro. We're gonna have to fucking stop this shit. Hold on. Recording will stop. Alright, man. We don't need fucking retards hitting me up. Hello, I'm back. So, back to the fucking story. People are calling me fuck everyone because this is such an epic part in the story. I go to Melbourne. I start going to high school. This is when I start playing sports, like American football. By the way, I will moss you, bro. Nobody can fuck with me in American football, basketball, or boxing. Come challenge me today. Do it. Do it now. I went to Palm Bay. I was doing my thing. One time I challenged a 12th grader to a fight, and he beat my ass. And then, one of the only fights I ever lost, by the way. And then, like, I think I got my name, like, out there in the... Like, people knew too much about me now. Next thing you know, I had people from Miami come all the way from Miami to come pick me up from DCYF, because I guess my mom didn't get me back in court. But what they did to help my mom was that when they picked me up, they went inside the house to see how clean the house was, that my fucking fridge is full of food. They're like, no, this lady's regular now. Why would you ever take her son from her? So when they went to court, my mom got me back like this. Like, she literally was there, like, the next day. She had to drive all the way to Miami. She got me from Melbourne, Florida. That's where, like, Cocoa Beach is. By the way, Melbourne might as well be called boring, because that shit was boring as fuck. Next thing you know, I'm back in Melbourne with my mom. Her and Kevin McCarthy don't work out. Then she, like, they were getting, like, crazy, like, scuffles and shit. Like, Kevin never really hit her. I don't remember Kevin ever hitting her, but my mom was just crazy as fuck. My mom would, like, leave with the car, and she'd come back, and the radio would be missing, and she'd be like, I didn't notice the radio missing, and, like, dude, she would say the craziest shit. They had a Buick Sable. I'll never forget that. I crashed it one time. Next thing you know, they broke up. They broke up completely. Kevin's friend came from out of town, spent like a day there. Next thing you know, they disappeared. He was like, "Hey man, fuck." Like, I guess Kevin broke up around or whatever. Broke up with my mom. It was insane. My mom, heartbroken now. Says we're going back. She says that she talked to my dad. By the way, my dad never liked my mom. I guess they hooked back in the 80s, but they never, like, were together or whatever. Matter of fact, my dad was gay, I think. Yeah, actually, he was gay. He would bring home niggas and shit. That's another story for another time, whatever. And, next thing you know, I'm packing my stuff up again with this guy that he finds ID. He was actually from Hawaii, but he found an ID that looked just like him, so he was able to rent a U-Haul with it. And the next thing you know, we're, like, on our way, us three, back here. So So my mom found a guy that found an ID that he rented a U-Haul with, and now we're on our way back to Miami. My mom, off rip. Now, if you don't know about Miami, Aventura is like the line that you come from Broward to Miami. She gets pulled over, off rip. They take everybody out the car. They check the guy's ID that he found. They give it back to him like it was his. And I kind of laugh like. They arrest my mom and they take her to the police station. 10 minutes later, she says she's calling us, telling us to go pick her up at the police station. This is Aventura Police. If you don't know nothing about Aventura Police, these are the most like hostile police in Miami. We pull up to the police station. By the way, if you've ever seen the Aventura Police's police station, that shit looks weird. Looks like a temple. Muslim and Jewish. She's running out the police station. She's like, yo, they found crack pipes on me, all type of shit, and they let me go. And this guy looked at each other like, whoa. And dude, I almost... Thank God they let my mom go, man. My mom's blessed, man, by God, dude. And then I linked up back with my dad. A couple weeks later, the like, you know, the little porcelain that you have in your bathroom, it had like little marks on it. And he was like, yo, she gotta go, but I'm gonna take care of you. And that's how I ended up living with my dad. And even to this day, I'm like still attached to my mom. I love my mom with all my heart. And mom, don't feel offended by anything I'm saying. I'm just trying to give it a nice. Like, I just want us to feel like it's real. Like, you want me to lie? You want me to like say like lying stories? Because these are the best stories. The best stories are the true stories. The best stories are the true stories. And I don't know if this is part 1 to the story, but I'm actually gonna end it here now. It's been awesome talking with you guys. Whoever's listening, hit that like button. Tell your friends to gang bang that subscribe button. About to have little jit. I'm trying to do it real big. I'm trying to do 30 episodes this year. I hope it sounds great. I hope this is crisp. I love you guys. God bless you. And let's keep this on. This episode, I think it's episode 15. So let's do it. Let's do it now.